Hey everyone, Cory from Aquarium Co-Op. Today, I want to show you what I'm working on. The last week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that, I've been tearing the fish room apart. You've probably seen some videos at this point, me talking about scaling down and enjoying the hobby, maybe even seen posts on Facebook and stuff where I've been working on that. So I decided I would kind of capture some of this instead of, originally I was thinking, yeah, I'll just go from what it was to what it is now. And instead I thought, well, that's not great either. I think I could show some stuff. So this wall used to be lots of acrylic tanks, and they just weren't, really they weren't meant for home hobby use for me. They're great breeding tanks, great selling tanks. We use them at the warehouse, we use them at the store, but it just never, I couldn't really reach the back easily, had to get up on a ladder, and the fish I was doing, it didn't make sense. And that's really something I've been focusing on is, do I need this big aquarium? Right? That's a 150-gallon tank. Do I need it? The answer is no, but I actually kept it because it looked good with my setup here. So if this would be like a live stream setup or me doing a talking head, you'd have some aquarium. I kind of like that. So those fish and that setup's not going to stay that way, but some of the keys I wanted was a couch. I desperately wanted a couch in the fish room. One, I want to spend more time in the fish room. So that was goal number one. Spend more time, keep the species I want to keep, and slim down so that I spent more time enjoying and less time cleaning. So one of the things I wanted was a couch so that you could just kick it right here with a buddy. Dean can come over, my wife can come over, anybody can come over. Well, not anybody, obviously, but they could be sitting here kind of looking at the tanks, and then also I can be working and kind of talking with them and all of that. So that was kind of priority number one. I want to be able to take a nap. I want to be able to kind of do the lean back and lay over and look at tanks and think about things and think about products and think about you guys. What do you want to see? What's the next video? What's the next, right? But we ran challenges, like you put a thing right here, a desk in the middle of the room, by the way. And you've got these skylights. And so the skylights have been plaguing me for a long time. I love natural light, but they cause extra algae growth and things like that. So I'm working on putting some shades up, which you can't really see on camera because it's too bright, but we're working on that. So yeah, couch, check, got it. Remove tanks, kind of working on that still. We're still at about 16. My goal is to get down to 10 or less, roughly. And so what I've been doing is slowly working on tanks. None of these tanks essentially will stay the same. It's not because I don't like them or anything like that, but each one's got its own problems. And so for whatever reason, like in this tank with the eel, I've got this weird, I still call it the sponge, whatever this stuff is, and it's a contaminant. And what I mean by a contaminant is, I don't really know what it is. It doesn't seem to do anything wrong. It doesn't seem to be problematic other than covering the plants and kind of killing them. But I kind of want to not have that. So my goal will be getting the fish out, and the eel, I think long term, is going to live in the 150 gallon over here. But I want to change up kind of what's going on in this tank as well. One, I'm kind of running a lot of light. I've got a little bit of algae. I don't like necessarily maintaining the valve every time it comes out. So I think I'm gonna do a bunch of crypts, and then I'm not sure what I'm doing in the back yet. The fish, I think, are gonna change as well. There's a lot of snails, so I'm thinking about putting my clown loaches in here to grow them out. They could eat all the snails, which that'd be a good snack for them. But that means these guys gotta move, but I'm thinking clown loaches plus eel plus kind of Congo tetras and stuff like that. Been doing some, I wanted to incorporate, another thing on my checklist was I want a product wall. And one, I want to sell you guys some crap. Yep, that's my job. Boom, out of the way. But two, I'm actually proud of the stuff I've worked on. Like this, coming up this year, is it this November? No, I think it's next November. But within the next year, this will be 10 years. So this is, we might do some kind of 10-year anniversary, but I remember portions of my life, like each of these products are portions of my life that I've worked on. Now there's very few products here, like here's a light, like I want to put that up there, and here's an easy flow, and Some things take a lot of testing, like how do you get the right formula? And the formula just changed over the years. In fact, I've got, so here's Easy Green at 5,000 gallons. It treats, right, at 500 milliliters. Well, it used to be a big bottle and treated 2,500. And then the evolution, right? I started going, well, the environment and things like that, let's sell, should be somewhere over here. Let's sell the smaller bottle. Also treated 2,500 gallons, right here. So this was many years, right here. And I found this while I was cleaning, going, yeah, that was another phase of, my work. And then we decided, because this was $15, then we decided, you know what's even better for the environment? Because people are buying a lot of these. We saw that people are buying 2, 3, 4 bottles at a time. So then we made that bottle bigger. So we went back up to the bigger size and treat 5,000 gallons and only cost $5 more. So, and we made the potency of different stuff. Probably if we start comparing, I don't know if, no, we were already up to 9% potassium on this one. But in different versions, they'd have less. And over time, as we got feedback, because we sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Easy Green bottles now, over time, looking at people's aquariums, seeing what happens, the first versions use less potassium. And then we maxed out the amount of potassium that you can actually get into a bottle. We just got the max you can get. Now you can even see, and it's not out yet, maybe it'll be out by the time this video comes, but I've actually been testing in the fish room easy potassium. And this is how it kind of works. They send you they don't just do that. We ask for a bunch of bottles and you start testing it and you start dosing it with, is what we've been doing. Now, most of my aquariums don't need extra potassium. I'm not running highlight and CO2, but there are instances where you might need that. If you had an aquarium only filled with Java Fern or Anubias, maybe you need more potassium. But when you have tanks that are a mix of plants, which most of mine are all mixes, right? I didn't really need to dose potassium, but technically it's very hard to overdose potassium, where if you overdose iron, you grow a lot of algae. Not so much the case with potassium, so kind of either way, kind of getting into the weeds here. That's not what I was meant to doing. And I think part of the problem I have, you're always a sales pitch, Cory, is a lot of my hobby is making products and doing things and playing with it. And this was before I ever did it for profit, right? Dean does it all the time. We're always tinkering and showing each other stuff, going, hey, what about this? What about that? Hey, did you try this? You think of that yet? And that's been part of my hobby. And so I just do it, and then eventually I try to tell you guys the merits of what I did. And so it devolves, I say devolves to that a lot. It comes to that a lot. So let's look at the big 230 gallon over here. This could stay, it could move. Right now, I've got goldfish in there. You can see those shabunkins, which I'm absolutely in love with. The small one, kind of in the back behind that big one, is actually a baby. Born here in the fish room, just never kind of filmed it. Hey, there's some potassium right there, actually. Never filmed it or anything. And so I've been raising it up, but that's kind of, I have a vision of maybe doing that in the 800 gallon for a while, until these clown loaches grew out, which you guys have barely seen the clown loaches, but there's over 30 clown loaches underneath this log. You've got my $50 tetras that are just starting to color up and starting to kind of look cool. Hoping they will in the next 6 months really look neat. Kind of want to pair those to Congo tetras and the clown loaches in the 150 gallon kind of behind my desk, closer to me. Then these shabunkins could just chill in here for a while. And why would they need to chill in here for a while? Well, we're also working on tearing down the 800 gallon. Since Ladybird passed away, you can see the couch. We took one of the couches out of here, and the ping pong table's back on this side. We've been catching out hundreds and hundreds of trout goodeids. They've been going to the store, getting sold. And really what I want to do is I'm going to tear this entire aquarium down, substrate everything down to just nothing. I'm going to hire somebody who comes out and they will buff out the scratches. Now they're hard to see. You can probably see them a little bit, but I want to do a big reset on this tank. Basically, boom, let's just start from the beginning. And maybe it's the shabunkins for a while. Keep it easy. And then we go, yeah, let's go back to clown loaches and the tetras and the eel and all of that, right? But this is a big undertaking. So this tank's also moving. So we're gonna try with the forklift after we've gotten everything out of it to move it, grab it, and we're gonna put it right next to the NBA Jams. No, we're gonna put it, I think, either A, right here, which that's on the 30% chance, or the 70% chance right here, kind of where these two tanks are. Now, it's gonna stick out a little bit, but what I want is, when I'm in that room, I'm usually watching a movie or I have friends over. When I'm in this room, I'm working and kind of doing what I do. But if I take a seat, if I'm sitting at this desk, right, here I am, boom, right there, like screen, big old 800 gallon that I'm enjoying. And then you can kind of turn a little bit, boom, enjoying another one. If I turn the other way, enjoying more. So my plan is actually, so if I sit where I'm sitting here, basically from that aquarium to these, I want to keep these running. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And then we got the 150 behind me. That's 8. We've got the 230. That's 9. And the 800 gallon will be 10. Now, that's still a lot of gallons of water. It's still, you know, the 800 gallons still hours to maintenance and all of that. But I think that starts becoming a much more healthy, manageable mix. Now, I know enough to know that I don't know what I don't know. Is 10 aquariums gonna be the right number for me? I don't know that. So I'm not tearing down more aquariums. I'm gonna put them into decommission. So everything past that will basically have their light off once I finish decommissioning them, move the fish the way I want them, and all of that. Now what you can see here, this tank has been reset. More than I would normally ever reset. It got bleach. And you can see a little bit right there. That's a little bit, I'm hoping, fully dead version of this stuff. Because I don't want to just like do the next version and go, dang it, I got this stuff again. Like, yeah, I can put Siamese algae eaters and they'll eat that blackbird algae. And I can use Excel or easy carbon or hydrogen peroxide. I can beat that. I haven't been able to beat this stuff yet. So I've been kind of chucking the plants because you think you get it all. That's how I got it over here. It was never supposed to be on this wall. And I've never seen it again. So, yeah, so this one's kind of in the reset mode. You go over here. Now, part of the problem I've learned over the years is like these backgrounds, these custom backgrounds. They're awesome, but they hold on. Like that moss I've tried to remove from this tank like 4 times. It always stays in the crevice you can't get out of the background, and it comes back. Again, look what I have. I've got more of this stuff in here, and it's covering stuff. So once I move the fish and the shrimp and the snails and everything out, I will then bleach this tank. You know, and unfortunately, like, I love these crypts. I'm like, oh, they're looking so good, man. But like you can see right there, like you just gotta miss a little bit and it's still there. So I won't use any of these plants, and unfortunately those get composted, which kills me. It kills me. But I don't wanna keep it going. This tank seems to be doing just fine. None of that contaminant, spongy stuff has gotten in here. I removed all the Vallisneria. I vacationed my goldfish in here for about a week to get rid of hopefully any of the residual duckweed. This was the only tank I had left with duckweed. I want to move kind of crypts and plants and stuff more back in there. The fish may or may not stay in this tank. They could move to another one, but these fish are staying. I do like them. Turtles are going to go. They're going to find a new home. Once they actually get there, I'll tell you who's getting them, because I don't want to be like, hey, this person's getting them, and they actually choose not to. I don't want to, force them into it. But lots of turtles. I kind of came to the realization that 3 tanks of turtles is more than I want. Like there's all these turtles in here. Some new babies have been hatching out. They've been going in here. It tends to hide, I don't know, in the back somewhere. And then I've got the breeders, and I just don't want to have I'm not into them enough to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tanks of them. So this will be one that I'll probably bleach, just because you don't know what you don't know. Get rid of the algae and all of that, and kind of start it over from the beginning. This guy, lots of kind of these blue shrimp. blue, I don't know if I want to call them blue velvet because they're not very velvety. They're definitely not blue jelly. They're kind of a blue-black type shrimp. That's mostly what's going on in here. I don't know what I'm gonna do long-term in this tank, but this is one that's gonna stay. And then maybe my favorite tank in this fish room at the moment, you can see the glare is terrible, is these big crypts. So these crypts are the same crypts as these ones. These were getting blocked by the light from the Vallisneria. And they're also the same crypts as these ones over here that are getting different light. Now, I'm going to fix the lighting in this room. So part of the problem, like when we go back and look at this tank, right? It's kind of low light. You're going, oh, it looks terrible. You see all this reflection. I can't even see in there. And I go, yeah, I know. That's why I was running 2 lights. But the 2 lights will kind of start growing a lot of algae. But, you know, a little less reflection over here, right? You only see these little ones. Part of it is the skylights. The skylights are killing me. So, you know, I'm trying some different shades to put in to help with that so that I can lower the light level down, the par values down, so I don't grow as much algae because I run low to medium light plants on average, and everything will be slower, moving slower, growing slower, using less power, less heat. That's also a factor. I've got the AC on because it's warm now. Over here, this tank is technically part of the ones that I would shut down. So I'll probably come in here and replant all these plants, take the plants, move them somewhere else. Cryptlutea, I believe is what we planted in here. Love this plant, easy to grow. And yeah, bleach this tank already. You can see all the algae in the back dying. And every time I walk in here, it smells like a pool. And one of the, basically I just want to break it down, not break it down, but I want to shut it down. Lights are off, boom, just let it sit in stasis mode so that if I go, you know what, I need more than 10, I need 15 aquariums. I already got them set up, great. I've been, a lot of the fish went to the store, some went to friends, stuff like that. So like this tank with the buffalo head cichlids and the bettas that were breeding, it's in a shutdown phase. There's still a pleco or 2 in here. And these Anubias I like. There's no contaminants outside of algae. And algae you can cure. So I'll probably use these in other ways. This dwarf Sagittaria has gotten too tall. It never got taller than about this in this aquarium. When I put the second light on it, then it did. You can see here, you can see in basically just fine until you get the reflection off of this to this. And that again comes from those skylights. And then we've got the last tank down here holding crypts and my balloon mollies, which are gonna stay. See, again, right there, yeah. You see that big glare on the wheels? That's skylight problem. Boom. From that skylight right there. So, and this even has both lights. I've got the front one turned down quite a bit because I don't want to grow a ton extra algae, but you know, I can basically fix that. Let me show you the problem I deal with. And so like for me personally, I'm kind of okay with the glare because I can view them at night or different times. So if I crank up just the front light up here, right? Well, you're still getting it, I suppose. But the fish start standing out a lot more. And normally what I would do is I would just get a different angle, and then you can kind of see some of this glare over here. So, you know, to do what I'm doing right now, normally I would do a bunch of cleaning, get the bright orange buckets and stuff out of the way. Let me turn that way back down again. Well, one more up. But now you can see them even more. You see the seat, you see the ladder, which you did before, but now with less light. So that's just a battle I've been going through. And that is a business battle, not a hobby battle. And the hobby, I know, something like this aquarium right here is fine. The lighting in there is perfect, grows the plants, I love the look. It's just not good for the YouTube part of it. So I want to fix, I want to dim those down a little bit, change lighting a little bit. Yeah, and basically my goal was to turn this into offish, which is an fish office. And I think I'm getting there. You know, I've got stuff, I want to move paintings and stuff a little bit, and I want to mount some more little shelves for stuff. I want to, you know, move the speaker and cut that down and cut this down and remove all this. I haven't talked about this area at all. So what this is going to be, my goal, this tank will go. I've got a video to shoot about par still. So that tank will go, and then I've got to figure out what to do basically with this big open space back here. So I'm standing right now where like the 800 gallon will be, boom, like right here. But this is it's from the old warehouse. You can go up and down. I want this so I could talk about a product or a filter or show you how to set up a tank or whatever. Do that there, have some backdrop, and have more modes than just sitting at a desk in front of that. Yeah, we'll get rid of most of this. So this was airline. It still works all the way around the room. This is water line to fill tanks. And we'll probably leave the bottom 2 rows because they will feed the 800 gallon. It's gonna be right here basically. But all the other ones, we will, you know, these 2 will cut out and we'll work on the drain. We'll probably cut it back to there and then just put just a drain for the 800 gallon. And yeah, you know, I've got lots of little officey stuff to do. Like I've got this cord, right? This is a trip hazard. And once I run the Ethernet so I could live stream or anything I want to do again, I'm going to put that through this channel, put it right through there between these 2 desks, and just have the view. So there's still, you know, lots more. Like I don't need this flash for flash photography, but I do want to do more pictures of fish. And I do think having less aquariums will allow me to focus on that a little more, have a little more room for it. Also, I want to put a TV in here somewhere. It could go here, it could go there, it could go... I want a TV that I can basically put a show on or YouTube on and work. Because a lot of times when I'm answering you guys' questions and stuff on the Facebook forum or YouTube, I've got a screen there, I've got instant messenger and email going there. And yeah, I do my meetings and stuff here, but yeah. So if I can have something kind of over there, I can really focus on work with Excel spreadsheets and the website and all that. So, you know, this video got a little longer than I was anticipating. I've got lots of cleaning to do. There's, you know, cinder blocks were there. Just need to take a mop. And you can see kind of carrying in the cinder blocks in and out while it's raining outside. You know, made a little bit of a mess. But as I'm more motivated than I've ever, not ever, that's not true, than I've been in a long time to tweak and fix things, because if I work on one aquarium, I'm 10% of the way there, where it used to be I had to fix 3 or 4 aquariums to be 10% there. And that's just an unstable situation where if you feel like you can't get ahead and can't catch up, you end up not catching up because you're just constantly falling behind. And so that's what I'm gonna try to take people along the journey. So if you're not in the stage where you want 50, 100, 25 aquariums, whatever it is, and you're in the stage that I'm in right now of, hey, I wanna get a little bit of balance coming back, you can come along with that. Oh, by the way, I wanna show people have been having their easy flows, like change flow or whatever. Get yourself, we're gonna make some eventually. I haven't tested all of them. Get yourself a little pipe brush, and all you gotta do is, you know, take it off and work that air collar a little bit. Works like magic. I've got some over here, which, you know, I wanna do some tests also with bleach and vinegar and everything. I've got some over here, but really what you're trying to do is just grab, you know, your air collar, and you can see it here, right? You can see gunk. It's hard to show one-handed and not zooming in, but really all you're trying to do is, you know, run your little pipe cleaner kind of through it and move it around a little bit. And you would do this while it's wet. Like when it's dried and crusty on there, you'd want to soak it first, but, you know, and then your pipe would be here. You can clean that up, and you know, you can get some nice flow going back through there. Simple, quick little maintenance. I want to find one that is real curvy that can do the actual uplift part. So like this one could actually use a little bit of cleaning. I just haven't done that tank yet. Grab this chair because keeping everything stable while filming is a little bit better usually. So this piece has been available in the hobby for like the last 15 years. I don't know, 15 years, at least the last 10. And this is a good example of, well, how does Cory make a product better? It's this. So what they wanted to do is so when I came up with my idea, they were like, how about you just do this? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, we've tested that. So it used to be, all they did was fill in this hole, but you have the air line come down through it, and then the air rises, and it hits, and all collects, and then comes out this little piece. And so it basically just glug, 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 so you get all this momentum going up, straight into a brick wall, and then it comes out, which is radically different than that nice big sweep we have, and then we kept the air on the outside. So they were trying to save us money and go, why not just use the piece that we already have? And it's because, one, we want to bring the air on the outside so that you don't get bubbles kind of mashing up on the way up and you're taking up pipe space. And then two, we needed this to be a nice round so you get the flow and not just crash, glug, glug, glug. And so stuff like that takes a while. And you see it there. I'm not reinventing the wheel. It's wood angles. Is it 57.5? Is it 62.5? Is it 67.5? Is it 60? Is it this? Is it that? Do we, this didn't have a thing to hold the airline. And there's still changes coming, by the way. That's one of the things is as I use these, over time I go, hey, I think we can make this a little better. Let's make this change. Let's make that change. And so that's usually my commitment. These weren't even welded together. These are 3D printed, so they should come apart. But yeah, I mean, you can see we ran them long enough to at least get dirty and everything between each change. And so, yeah, I don't know. I guess, trying to focus on my hobby while also balancing work and, my profession and trying to do what I can by you guys. So, yeah. I was shocked to see with bleach that Malaysian trumpet snails can live through some of that. I actually put more bleach in to kind of, but I still think there's one right there alive. And on this tank, the first one I did, they lived through it. I'm okay with that. I was just shocked. They're nocturnal, so they were up here this morning, but I'm just shocked. Yeah, here's one right here. Look at these guys. One there and one there. Now, I've already been changing water out of here, so there's way less chlorine than there would be. And I'm gonna put a lot of dechlorinator in there to take the bleach out. But it's pretty crazy that how adaptive some creatures are. There's like one little baby shrimp I missed in here, didn't make it through the bleach. And so, again, just a chance to learn. We actually emailed Universal Rocks and go, hey, is this gonna bleach the background? And they're like, if you don't use too much. And we go, how much is too much? And like, yeah, if you don't use too much. So I apparently haven't used too much, it's working, but I was worried I was gonna have to swap them all out. So yeah, all right, I think that's good enough for a video today. Transition, so eventually when it's done, you'll kind of know how I got there, and it's not just the big reveal. Instead, you go, oh yeah, that's how he did it. So we'll see you later. Thanks for watching what we do. Some of you buy from us, that's great too. And all the members and all that are making it happen for the last 10 plus years. We're almost done with decommissioning the Everett warehouse. At this point, we probably will be by the time you watch this. Kentucky's full time. We're working on tweaking that, getting everything dialed in. A new building, new process, new stuff. And just like here, always changing.